Imagine you're in a dungeon fighting through all these monsters and creatures that are trying to kill you, and eventually you finally see a reward. You see a chest. But then there's a voice in the back of your head that says, I've seen this before. That's not a chest. That's a mimic, a creature that pretends to be a chest until adventurers get close and then it attacks. But then again, it could also just be a normal chest. It could have treasure inside of it that you've been fighting this whole time for. So now you're stuck with this paradox. Do you go and try and reward yourself, or do you step away because the risk of what it could be is too much of a danger for you? Is the risk worth the reward at the end? And this is the paradox I'm going to be touching upon in this video. I call it Schrodinger's mimic. See, if you've done anything in relation to psychology, chances are you've come across the idea of Schrodinger's cat. There is a cat in a box, and until you check in that box, you do not know whether that cat is alive or dead. So, without observing it, it is technically in both states. And when you open it, you confirm one of the states, leaving the other one to be false. And that's kind of what I'm building off of here. See, the idea of Schrodinger's mimic is one that I find to be such a prevalent aspect of my own personal motivation. See, in video games, when you see these chests, you go, hey, that could be something. Do I pursue it? And then you start looking at your character going, okay, well, I do need the reward. I would love to have it, build my character up further with whatever's inside of that chest. But at the same time, can I defeat a mimic if it is one? Can I deal with the surprise element of it attacking me before I even get a chance to? Do I attack it first? Does that ruin the treasure inside if it isn't actually mimicked? Do I destroy the chest and therefore don't get the prize inside? See, this whole back and forth questioning, it adds an aspect of curiosity. My whole life, I've been driven by curiosity, the things that I do not know, therefore I need to pursue and find out what they mean. So it all comes down to the question, is the risk worth the reward? And see, when you start looking at things through this curiosity loop, you start understanding what motivates us a lot more. Now, if you've seen in my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about Yukai Cha's Octalysis framework, these 8 core principles used in games, one of which is unpredictability and curiosity. It's this pillar of going, I need to know more. It's what kept you watching this video most likely. You saw a picture and went, hey, that could be interesting. I wonder what it's about. You click into it and then you watch it. That is the whole way that this whole platform works. It is based on curiosity. What is the thing that makes you pay attention and go, that seems of interest? But likewise, in life, you start going, I wonder what would happen if I went there. I wonder if they will have my size in store. I wonder what this would taste like. It's this concept of trying to think about the potential of what could happen, evaluating the risk around it, and then defining whether or not that risk is worth that reward. See, if you don't have money, but you want to go into a store to see if they have the thing you want, chances are the risk is you're going to have to go, oh, I know they have it and I don't have the money for it, therefore I can't get it, and have the disappointment. So maybe the risk isn't worth the reward in that regard. That said, if you have the opposite, you have the money, you go in and it's not there, it's not as bad of a hit, but you still had the opportunity to go, oh, there might be something else there. One of the more prevalent uses of this in life is actually kind of a negative one, and that's when you start looking into gambling. You're putting everything on the table in order for a chance to win. That chance, that idea of, will I win? This curiosity of, what will it feel like if I win? Can I do it? It's what drives a lot of things like slot machines. You start seeing all these things, you go, what happens if those 3 line up? What do I win then? And this ongoing fuel that needs to be fed. So when I'm looking at this principle, I start thinking about all the things that I'm trying to achieve in life and how I can start defining them as my own Schrodinger's mimic. See, I can look at them and go, I love the idea of the reward there. But I haven't really stopped to think about what the risk or the cost of trying that is. I haven't stopped and thought, okay, maybe I want to get 6-pack abs. Well, what's the cost to that? Well, I'm going to have to probably go do all of these workouts and hurt myself physically so that I can improve my body and then continually improve. And likewise, the whole time, I'm probably not going to be super confident in the way I look up until that point. Is that risk worth the reward of what it's going to give? For some people, absolutely. For me, not my sort of mindset. So I find the things in life that are curious enough to me, that make me go, I want that reward, and I'm willing to risk this. I'm willing to risk it being nothing but a warning and a lesson. I'm willing to risk everything to find out that it's a mimic and I have to fight it anyway. Because when you start to find the actual process of going and trying something and testing a theory of if it is the thing you want, that's when you're in a place where you become unstoppable. You don't get stopped by all of these other things that could be a problem because you're ready, you're prepared, and you're willing to risk it in order to achieve the reward that you eventually will get. Because the more at-bats you have, the more likely you are to win. The more chests that you open, the more likely you're going to find that one that has all the treasure that you want. Yes, throughout that, you're going to have to fight a lot of mimics. You're going to have to go, oh, here's another one. But if you're ready for it, then chances are you are already on your way to having that reward. Because not only are you actually having to fight these things, but you're also gaining experience. You're leveling up because you're fighting these monsters. And if you're lucky, there might even be the types of mimics that when they die, they actually still give you a reward. It will be hard fought, and it will feel better, and it will continue to drive you forward to find the ones that you really want. Hell, you might even become a mimic hunter, trying to find all of the things that could go wrong, facing them and seeing what happens after the fact. See, those are very dangerous people because they know that they're willing to put in everything in order to win. So next time you have a goal or a reward that you're trying to fight towards, ask yourself, is this a mimic? And if so, am I willing to fight it in order to get the treasure that I deserve?